Loretta and Omari are here. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Tam.
Pleasure.
Yeah, you know what, Loretta? Okay, and Omari, you may not know, I don't watch horror films. I am afraid. And here you two have me watching this movie. Loretta, we're from Texas. I know
Yes.
people put roots on people. So I, yeah, take me into when you saw this script, because we Texas girls, we don't mess around with roots.
Oh, well, the thing that's scariest about this film is that it is rooted in reality. And I hope nobody's making boogatees still, but that's what the movie is all about. It was exciting. We filmed in South Africa, so it was an exciting 6 weeks.
Oh, what a beautiful experience. Omari, what was that like being on location in South Africa, especially since none of us get to travel these days? One of the most beautiful places on the planet I've ever been, South Africa, Cape Town. What was it like for you?
Loretta said it best. We were talking the other day, and she said, it gave us just what we need, the ancestral connection that obviously the three of us have now experienced. Loretta and myself have been prior, so ironically on separate projects, but to go back together, it was kind of perfect because, of course, the script calls and the story calls for us being out in that wilderness space that South Africa also offers. We were about an hour from Cape Town. So, Tamron, if you know it at all, it did have lakes around it. There were hills around. There were crazy animals. Loretta and I saw wildebeest, which is an archaic form, of course, of a buffalo.
Yes.
To that, and we about 15-foot room attic that Loretta's character was absolutely in control of, and so it was great, and the crew was amazing. So shout outs to South Africa being
Absolutely. That is phenomenal, Omari. I know you're from Georgia. I was saying to Loretta about, in our culture of voodoo and hoodoo and what I said people call, putting a root on someone. Were you nervous at all taking on this topic?
I was, but what quelled my concerns was Loretta and I had a 10-year relationship prior, and what quelled my concerns was we cast perfectly because who more loving than Loretta to play such a psychopath?
Wait. Well, that's the contrast. Loretta, the last time I saw you, we were at Tyler Perry's studio for that big party. You are the personification of joy, and now here you are, pure evil. I'm still waiting for my, peach cobbler from Waiting to Exhale, that classic scene with you and the great Gregory Hines. I'm ready for that character to pop up, and here you are, a whole nother kind of person I don't recall ever seeing you play.
Well, it was a great challenge for me, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do it, because I want everybody to be a little scared of me. People just run up and pick me up. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Nobody's scared of me. Even when I try to talk big and bossy, they be, oh, you're so funny. I'm like, I'm serious. Put me down.
Omari, I got to ask you about Power. Your character Ghost killed by his son Tariq, season finale, made all kinds of headlines recently because you said you had a vision of a different ending. What was your vision for it?
It's awesome, Tamron, that I get to hang out with you and be able to, I guess, further explain myself. Nina Simone said it best. Sometimes we're misunderstood. I simply was asked the question, did you ever, let's use the word conjure, since we're talking about this movie that Loretta and I got to play around in. Did you ever conjure a different ending? And in my mind, I'm like, well, there was no, at the point that I answered the question, or at the point of, me conjuring this, we were at season 2 of Power. So I simply stated, yeah, there was a moment I was just kind of jogging through a park in Boston. And at that moment, I, in my mind, conjured up this thought of how the show could end. And I think in the conversation, that then was twisted. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I do.
So then they twisted that, and they made it that I basically was eradicating that which Courtney absolutely not only had every power and control in being able to dictate, that being the show's ending, which is way above my pay grade, as you know. But they then spun it and, you're not wanting Joseph to get spinoffs and this, that, and the third. And I was like, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Entirety of the beginning, which started out saying, in season 2 while jogging, I kind of had an idea of how it could possibly end. I had someone comment on an Instagram where they said, this ain't Shakespeare. And in my mind, Tamron, I'm thinking, absolutely Power was Shakespeare. Absolutely, that's what made me so attracted to it. My gravitation to it was, of course, that it was like Shakespeare. So I simply said something, and I don't
Okay,
I don't
I
know.
didn't even know it had gone that deep. That's crazy.
I simply said season 2. I thought about an ending, and then I called Courtney, and then I called Joe, and they both were like, "Oh, that could be," and that was it. I don't
Mm.
want to change anything. It is what it is. I'm absolutely a fan, as you and as my dear friend of that many years and being Loretta Devine know. That show, pun intended, was absolutely divine for me, and I wouldn't be interviewing with Tamron Hall if it weren't for the show.
Well,
So I don't know
listen, you
what.
would be on a lot, but you are, and interviewed by way bigger than this person. Something I would like to conjure up would be the next Waiting to Exhale. It's been such a long time in not seeing just a friendship movie with women of color who are independent. This was such a milestone moment for me in my life to see you and that cast together, you know, bringing to life that brilliant book from Terry. I'm curious, you know, we have this Aretha Franklin movie coming out with Jennifer Hudson, another friend, but I'm waiting for that Whitney biopic, that elegant big screen biopic of Whitney's life. What do you think?
Oh, I know that Terry and I think Lee Daniels are working on something because she's been trying to get Waiting to Exhale back for so many years, and because it changed so much for everybody, not just Black women, but also so many shows came out of that with the same girlfriend format that they use. But I think they're doing something about the kids of the women. And I think that's going to be coming out. So look forward. There's a lot of stuff that's being developed to look forward to.
Okay,
I just don't
like
know
that scoop. Well, listen, I can now exhale knowing that something is to follow. Waiting to Exhale. Well, congratulations, Loretta. You know I adore you and your awesome husband, Omari. Thank you so much.